Walk into any Tesco, Asda or Sainsbury's, and within 90 seconds you've been nudged, steered and quietly relieved of about a tenner you never meant to spend. That isn't bad luck. It's design. Supermarkets employ behavioral psychologists, shelf placement specialists and pricing scientists whose entire job is to make sure your trolley ends up heavier than your list. But here's the thing nobody mentions. Every single one of those tricks has a counter trick, and the people who know them quietly walk out paying a third less for the exact same shop. Number 9 on this list is something staff are politely told not to advertise. And number 2 will change how you push a trolley forever. Before we start, hit subscribe, because what you're about to learn could knock 50 quid off your weekly shop. Let's count down. Number 25. Read the little price, not the big one. Look at any shelf edge label and you'll see 2 numbers, the big bold price that screams at you and a tiny one tucked in the corner, the price per 100 grams or per litre. That small number is the only honest figure in the entire shop. A value bag of pasta might look dearer than the loose offer beside it until you do the maths and find it's half the price per kilo. Supermarkets are legally required to print unit pricing, but they make it small and grey for a reason. Trained shoppers ignore the headline entirely and scan only the little number. Once you start doing it, you'll catch the bigger box that's actually worse value at least 5 times per aisle. It costs nothing, and it's the single fastest habit you can build. Number 24. The world food aisle is the cheapest aisle in the shop. Here's a secret that proper bargain hunters guard closely. The herbs, spices, rice, lentils and tinned pulses in the world foods section are routinely half, sometimes a third, of the price of the identical product in the baking aisle 40 feet away. A tiny jar of cumin near the gravy granules might be £1.80. A bag 4 times the size on the world food shelf, £1. Basmati rice, chickpeas, coconut milk, all dramatically cheaper. The supermarket knows exactly what they're doing by separating them, hoping you'll grab the convenient little jar without ever wandering down the other aisle. The products are often better quality too, less bulked out, more authentic. Make the world food aisle your first stop for anything you cook with regularly. The saving over a month genuinely adds up to real money. Number 23. Loose always beats prepacked. That cellophane-wrapped tray of 4 apples feels tidy and convenient. It's also a con. Loose fruit and veg is almost always cheaper per kilo than the same produce sealed in plastic, and you get to buy exactly what you need instead of a fixed bundle you'll half waste. Pre-packed mushrooms in a punnet, loose mushrooms in the bin beside them. Weigh both and the loose ones win nearly every time. The packaging, the convenience, the perceived freshness, you pay for all of it. Bananas, peppers, onions, potatoes, the loose versions sit there quietly, undercutting their wrapped neighbours. The bonus is you waste far less because you can buy 3 onions instead of a bag of 8 that turns to mush in the bottom of the fridge. Less plastic, less spend, less waste. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Number 22. Eye level is buy level. The most profitable products in any shop sit exactly where your gaze naturally lands, between your chest and your eyes. That's no accident. Brands pay supermarkets enormous listing fees for that prime shelf space, and the cost gets baked straight into the price. The cheaper own brand and value lines, banished to the very top and the very bottom, where you have to stretch or crouch to reach them. Your knees are the supermarket's enemy. Train yourself to look down. The bottom shelf is where the bargains hide. The same tinned tomatoes, the same washing up liquid, often from the same factory, for a fraction of the price. It feels faintly undignified scrabbling about near the floor. Do it anyway. Every bend of the knee is a coin back in your pocket, and the shop is betting you can't be bothered. Number 21. Own brand is often the exact same product. Here's something the big brands desperately don't want you thinking about. A huge slice of supermarket own label food rolls off the very same production lines as the premium branded version made by the same manufacturer to a near identical recipe, then put in a plainer box. You're paying £1 extra for the advertising, the logo, and the fancy packaging, not the food inside. Cornflakes, baked beans, fabric softener, paracetamol, the active ingredient and the contents are frequently indistinguishable. The supermarket positions the brand at eye level and prices the own label below it precisely so the gap looks like a quality difference. Often, it's nothing of the sort. Do the swap on 10 staple items and you'll save a fiver in a single trip without anyone at your dinner table noticing a thing. Blind taste it at home if you doubt me. Most people genuinely can't tell. Number 20. Frozen is fresher than fresh. This sounds backwards, but it's true. Frozen veg is picked and frozen within hours of harvest, locking in nutrients, while the fresh peas in the chiller have spent days in transit, slowly losing goodness. Frozen is cheaper, lasts for months, and you only use what you need, so nothing rots forgotten in the salad drawer. Frozen berries for your porridge, frozen spinach, frozen mixed veg, all a fraction of the chilled price. The same goes for fish. A bag of frozen fillets costs a fortune less than the fresh counter, and it's often the identical fish, simply thawed out to look fresh on the ice. Supermarkets push the fresh aisle hard because the margins are fatter and the waste is yours, not theirs. The freezer aisle is where the quiet, sensible savers do half their shop. Number 19. The baby aisle sells cheap everything. A clever little trick, this one. Cotton wool, cotton buds, nappy sacks that double as perfect small bin liners, mild fragrance-free wipes, sensitive shampoos, all sit in the baby aisle at prices that quietly undercut the toiletries section. Why? Because nervous new parents shop on price and trust, so supermarkets keep baby basics keen to win their loyalty. A roll of nappy sacks for 60 pence does the exact job of scented pedal bin liners at 3 times the cost. Sensitive baby wipes clean surfaces and faces just as well as the branded household ones. You don't need a baby to walk down the baby aisle. The savvy shopper raids it for everyday basics and walks off chuckling. It's one of those small, almost invisible savings that the shop never advertises because they'd rather you bought the grown-up version at the grown-up price. Number 18. Never pay for someone else to chop an onion. Pre-chopped onions, diced butternut squash, grated cheese, sliced mushrooms. Every one of those tubs costs you a king's ransom for the privilege of someone else doing 30 seconds of knife work. A whole butternut squash might be 90 pence. The little pot of cubes beside it, the same weight, can be £2.50. That's not food cost, that's pure convenience tax, and it's one of the biggest margin makers in the entire shop. Grated cheese is the worst offender, often coated in anti-caking powder and dearer than the block. Buy whole, buy a cheap grater once, and you're laughing. The supermarket is selling you time and charging you handsomely for it. Reclaim 10 minutes of chopping a week and you'll claw back several pounds every single shop. Your knife is the most powerful money-saving tool in your kitchen. Number 17. Multi-buys are usually a trap. First pattern break. Here's where the shop gets sneaky. 3 for £5 sounds like a deal, and your brain treats it as one automatically. But work out the single price and you'll regularly find that buying 3 at full price barely differs, or that you're being lured into buying 3 of something you only wanted 1 of. The classic move is to raise the individual price quietly, so the saving is illusory. Worse, multi-buys push you to overbuy perishables that then rot, so the bargain 3 for 2 yogurts curdle untouched in the fridge. Trading Standards has caught supermarkets inflating the was price before slashing it to manufacture a fake discount. The trained eye checks whether you actually need 3 and whether the per unit price is genuinely lower. Half the time, 1 item at the normal price is the smarter buy. Treat every multi-buy as guilty until proven innocent. Number 16. The loyalty card is now 2-tier pricing. Tesco Club Card prices and Nectar prices have quietly changed the game, and not in your favour unless you're switched on. Increasingly, the normal shelf price is set high, and the only fair price is the loyalty one, locked behind a card you scan at the till. No card, no deal, even though the discount costs the shop almost nothing. It's become so widespread that the regulator has had to investigate whether the non-member price is artificially inflated. The practical lesson is simple. Get the card, always scan it, but never let the orange club card label fool you into buying something you didn't want just because it's on offer. Use the 2-tier system, don't be used by it. A free card that knocks pounds off staples is worth having in your wallet. Just remember, the discount is the bait, not the kindness. Number 15. Cashback apps pay you to shop. This one feels almost too good. Apps like ShopMeum, Checkout Smart and Green Gin offer money back, sometimes the full price, on selected products. You buy the item, photograph the receipt, and the cash lands in your account. Regularly, they run 100% back offers on a new product launch, meaning a free jar of coffee or a free pack of biscuits, paid for by the brand desperate for you to try it. Stack a cashback offer on top of a yellow sticker reduction and a loyalty price, and you're occasionally walking out with money in your favor. The supermarket doesn't shout about these because the money comes from the manufacturer's marketing budget, not theirs, so there's nothing in it for the shop to promote. 5 minutes of snapping receipts a week can quietly hand you back a fiver or more. Free money, hiding in plain sight on your phone. Number 14. The wonky veg box is your friend. Supermarkets discovered they could sell imperfect, wonky, or imperfectly perfect fruit and veg. The carrots with 2 legs, the knobbly potatoes at a steep discount, and shoppers love them. A big box of mixed wonky veg can cost a couple of quid and fill a fridge for a week. The food tastes identical. A carrot doesn't know it's bent. The only crime committed is failing a cosmetic beauty contest invented by marketing departments decades ago. For soups, stews, roasts, and mash, where everything gets chopped anyway, wonky veg is flawless value. The supermarket keeps these tucked away because the margin is slim, but for you, the saving is large. Grab the wonky box, embrace the lumpy parsnip, and feed the family for the price of a coffee. It's thrift dressed up as a trend, and it genuinely works. Number 13. Hunt the yellow sticker and learn the clock. Every store reduces its short-dated stock daily, slapping on those yellow and orange, reduced to clear stickers. The trick the experts know is the timing. Reductions usually come in waves, a first round mid-afternoon, then a deeper second / an hour or two before closing, when staff would rather sell it for pennies than bin it. Learn your local store's rhythm, often early evening, and you can fill a basket with meat, bread, and ready meals at 70 or 90% off. Bag it, freeze it, eat it over the month. A joint reduced from £12 to £2 is not a fantasy, it happens nightly across the country. Staff are quietly told not to broadcast the exact reduction times because they don't want a scrum. But the dedicated saver knows, lingers near the chillers at the magic hour, and eats like a king for the price of a pauper. Number 12. Shop the edges, distrust the middle. Second pattern break. There's a reason the bread, milk, eggs and veg, the things you actually came for, are scattered around the very edges and far corners of the shop. To reach them, you must walk past every tempting, high-margin aisle in between. That's not laziness in store design. It's a deliberate maze, refined over decades, engineered to maximize the distance between you and the essentials. The longer you walk, the more you buy. Knowing this is your defense. Plan a route that hits the perimeter for your basics and dips into the center aisles only for the specific items on your list. Don't wander the middle just to see. That's exactly where they want you drifting, where the impulse buys and clever displays live. Shop the edges with purpose, treat the center like enemy territory, and you'll leave with what you need and little else. Number 11. The end-of-aisle display is rarely a real deal. Those big stacked displays at the end of each aisle, the gondola ends, feel like special offers. Often they aren't. Brands pay premium fees to dump stock there precisely because shoppers assume an end display means a bargain. Frequently, the product is full price, simply positioned to look like a promotion. Studies show end-of-aisle placement alone can multiply sales of an item many times over, with no price cut whatsoever. The supermarket is selling you a feeling of getting a deal. Before you grab from a gondola end, glance at the actual price label and compare it to the same item on the regular shelf inside the aisle. Half the time it's identical or dearer. The smart shopper admires the impressive stack, then walks past it, unmoved. A display is theatre. The price tag is the only truth that matters. Number 10. Beware the music, the smell, and the slow tempo. This one's almost mischievous. Supermarkets pump warm bakery smells through the air vents, even when nothing's baking, because the scent of fresh bread makes you hungry, and a hungry shopper spends more. They play slow, gentle music because a slower tempo makes you move slower and linger longer in the aisles. The lighting over the fresh produce is tuned to make fruit look juicier and meat look pinker. None of this is accident. It's a carefully built atmosphere designed to lower your guard and loosen your wallet. You can't switch it off, but you can name it. Once you know the bread smell is a lure and the music is a leash, they lose their grip. Walk a touch faster, eat before you go. Remind yourself the cozy ambience has a price, and it's printed on your receipt at the end. Number 9. The reduced bakery at closing time. Here's the one staff are quietly told not to advertise. The in-store bakery cannot legally sell its fresh loaves, donuts and pastries the next day. So, in the final hour before closing, it gets marked down to almost nothing, then binned if unsold. A bloomer that was £1.20 in the morning can be 20 pence at 8:30. Bag a few, slice them, freeze them, and you've bread for a fortnight at a fraction of the cost. The same logic applies to the rotisserie chickens and the hot deli counter, slashed before close rather than thrown away. Stores don't broadcast this because they'd rather you paid full price earlier in the day, and a crowd at the bakery counter at closing is a headache. But the late evening shopper, basket open, eats beautifully for coppers. Time your trip and the bakery practically gives it away. Number 8. Buy the whole chicken, not the pieces. A whole roasting chicken costs dramatically less per kilo than the same bird sold as breasts, thighs and drumsticks in separate trays. You're paying a fortune for the butchery. Buy it whole, joint it yourself in 5 minutes with a sharp knife, and you've breasts for one meal, thighs for another, and a carcass for a pot of stock that becomes soup. One cheap bird stretches across 3 or 4 dinners. The same principle runs right through the meat aisle. A block of cheese beats grated, a whole cucumber beats the wrapped half, a side of salmon beats the portioned fillets. Every time the supermarket has cut, sliced or portioned something for you, they've added their margin to the labor. Reclaim that work and the savings are enormous. A whole chicken is the thriftiest piece of meat in the shop, and almost nobody buys it that way anymore. Number 7. Stock up on dried goods, not tins of convenience. Third pattern break. Dried lentils, dried beans, oats, rice and pasta are some of the cheapest, most filling foods on the planet, and they last for years in the cupboard. A bag of dried red lentils costs pennies and makes pot after pot of soup, dal and stew. Compare that to the tinned, pre-cooked, just heat versions, and you're paying many times over for water and a tin. The convenience economy has trained us to buy meals in pouches and pots when the raw ingredients sit 2 shelves down at 1/10 of the price. Build a cupboard around dried staples and your cost per meal collapses. Yes, it asks a little soaking, a little patience, the way your grandmother cooked without thinking, but the saving is genuinely transformative over a year. Bulk dried goods are the quiet backbone of every household that spends half what its neighbours do. Number 6. The Aldi and Lidl middle aisle and price matching everywhere else. The big supermarkets are now so frightened of Aldi and Lidl that several openly price match hundreds of products to them, plastering Aldi price match labels on the shelf. That label is doing your comparison shopping for you, flagging exactly which items are genuinely competitive. Lean on them. And if you do venture into the discounters, the famous middle aisle, the aisle of dreams, rotates random bargains weekly, from tools to ski gear to slow cookers, often at prices the big shops can't touch. The catch is when it's gone, so it trains impulse, beware that. Used wisely though, comparing the price match labels and raiding the discounters for staples can shift your baseline spend down permanently. The point is to let the shops compete for your money instead of quietly assuming your usual store is cheapest. It frequently isn't. Number 5. Personalized offers and digital vouchers. Buried in the supermarket's own app are personalized offers, money-off vouchers and boost your points deals tailored to what you already buy. The shop generates these from your loyalty data, hoping to lock you in, but you can flip it. Before every shop, open the app, activate every relevant voucher, and convert your points into vouchers at the moments they're worth multiples around Christmas or via reward partners. Club card points spent through certain reward schemes can be worth double or triple their face value. Most people never bother, leaving pounds of points to expire unused. The supermarket counts on that apathy. 2 minutes tapping your phone before you walk in can knock several pounds off the bill at the till and turn your hoarded points into a proper saving. The data they gather on you is the price you pay. Make sure you collect the discount in return. Number 4. Avoid the trolley, carry a basket. A wonderfully simple psychological trick the shops have used for years. The bigger the trolley, the more you buy, because a half-empty trolley feels like you've barely started, so you keep adding to fill the space. Trolleys have quietly grown larger over the decades for exactly this reason. A basket, by contrast, fills fast and grows heavy on your arm, a natural physical limit on impulse buying. If you've nipped in for a few things, take a basket, and the weight itself will tell you when to stop. Better still, for a big shop, write a list and stick to it ruthlessly, treating anything not on the list as a question to answer rather than a thing to grab. The trolley is an invitation to overspend, dressed up as convenience. Carry less, buy less, spend less. Your arm becomes your budget. Number 3. Scan as you shop and watch the running total. The handheld scanners and Scan as you shop apps were sold to us as convenience, skip the queue, pack as you go. But they hand you a hidden superpower the shop didn't fully intend. A running total, ticking up live in your hand as you drop each item in the bag. Suddenly that vague end-of-shop shock becomes a real-time number you can manage. See it creeping past your budget and you simply put something back before you ever reach the till. Most shoppers spend blind, only learning the damage when the total flashes up too late. Watching the number grow as you walk turns the whole trip into a game you can win. The supermarket built this tool to speed you through. The savvy shopper uses it to spend with their eyes open. Self-awareness, item by item, is one of the most powerful brakes on overspending there is. Number 2. Never ever shop hungry. 4th pattern break. This is the closest thing to a guaranteed law in the entire shop. A hungry brain buys differently. It reaches for fat, sugar, salt and quick fixes, throwing crisps, pastries and ready meals into the trolley that a fed brain would walk straight past. Studies have measured it again and again. Shop on an empty stomach and you spend significantly more, and almost all of it on impulse junk. The bakery smell pumped through the vents exists precisely to weaponize that hunger against you. Eat a proper meal before you leave the house and the entire shop loses half its power over you. The clever displays still call, but you've no appetite to answer. It costs nothing, takes no skill, and it's the single most effective trick on this whole list. A full stomach is the cheapest shopping companion you'll ever have. Number 1. Plan the meals, write the list, shop it once, and the one that quietly beats every other trick combined. Sit down before you shop and plan your meals for the week. Build a list from those meals, check what's already in the cupboard, and buy only what the plan demands. Then shop that list once properly and don't drift back mid-week for just a few bits, because those top-up trips are where impulse spending runs riot. Meal planning kills food waste, the single biggest hidden cost in any British kitchen, the bags of salad and forgotten yogurts that slide into the bin. It removes the daily "what's for tea" panic that drives takeaways and last-minute dashes. Every trick on this list saves you pounds. This one saves you the whole game, because a shopper with a plan is immune to almost everything the supermarket throws at them. Plan it, list it, shop it once. That's the secret. So there it is, 25 tricks, and not one of them asks you to eat worse, just smarter. Try a few this week. Read the little price, carry a basket, eat before you go, hunt the yellow stickers at the magic hour. Then check your receipt and tell me in the comments how much you knocked off. I reckon 50 quid is easy. Some of you will beat it. The supermarket spent millions learning how to make you spend more. Now you know how to spend less. Off you go.